Hi, I'm here. Hi, I'm Aang, and I'm here to tell you guys that I started One Piece. Come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. I know it's been a freaking hot minute since I recorded a new video, and it's really weird to be recording. But it's interesting that what actually led me to come out of my hole in the ground was freaking One Piece. Okay, so this story started when I was very young. One Piece was always like a TV show that was played on the TV. I'm Canadian, YTV I believe it was.
One Piece, next!
Along with the other anime like Naruto, Pokemon. Inuyasha was the anime that I freaking watched. A lot of you guys are here from my Inuyasha videos. Hey. Hello. I wasn't really into One Piece when I was younger because it just didn't really strike me as a show I would want to watch when I was little. I wasn't a huge fan of the art style, and a lot of people I feel like can argue that One Piece art style is like really like weird. Now that I'm older and as an art person that loves art, I actually kind of really appreciate the One Piece art style. I'm kind of deviating in the story here, but I really like the One Piece art style because I think you have to have a very certain amazing talent to be able to draw such odd looking creatures and characters, but somehow make it work. Fast forward a couple of years, I'm in high school. One of my closest friends actually really loved One Piece and always wanted me to watch it, but I'm like, nah, I don't have time because obviously high school, you're busy. My older sister started watching One Piece and she would watch it every freaking morning. She would try to convince me and I'm like, nah, I don't have time to start a very long show because I know well that once I start One Piece, I'm not want to like stop watching it. And then fast forward to my college days. My younger sister started watching One Piece and then she's just like, I don't know, I just feel like watching it. And it was supposed to be a show that we would like watch together, but schedules did not collide. So it was kind of like, I just didn't have the time to watch. Fast forward a couple years later, it is 2022. My youngest sister caught up to the English dub and One Piece Red film came out. And I was like, I want to watch too because my sister's boyfriend, and my younger sister, we're all gonna watch a movie. And everyone was like, you don't really have to watch One Piece to watch this movie. And I was like, okay, I'll just come and watch. So we're in the theater and we're watching the stuff and everyone's laughing at all the inside jokes and stuff like that. And I'm like, dang, I don't get the inside joke, but I'm happy that everyone's happy. And then I really love the music. I was so freaking obsessed with When the Wind Blows by Ado. And I freaking loved that song so much, bro. Catch the night. After watching the movie, I was like, oh my god, the animation was so freaking good. I love the fight scenes and the music. I just felt like there's so much missing to the movie for me because obviously I didn't watch the show that I feel like would have been so much better if I watched it like the show and then the movie. So I was like, okay, fine, I guess I'm gonna be starting this show because I want to understand the inside joke. I want to enjoy the movie the same way that everyone else did in the theater because everyone was freaking laughing so hard. Everyone was screaming during the fight scenes and stuff like that, especially when Shanks and Luffy fought together and stuff like that. And I was like, dang, I want to feel this feeling. So then I decided to start One Piece and I decided to limit myself in a way. I'm just gonna be watching it whenever I eat. So I started One Piece and then I got very freaking hooked. I always knew One Piece would be a show that I would enjoy. I love adventure shonen. I love like friend group stuff. There's a leader and then they collect people along the way. I love that stuff. I love it. I freaking love it. So I always really knew that I would love One Piece, but the reason why I had to stop myself is because I'm gonna be starting this show and I'm gonna make sure I'm done in one sitting because I get so addicted. I think it's because anime in general, especially like happy anime and stuff like that, give me a lot of like serotonin in my brain. So just like, that's why I feel motivated. This show has given me happiness, bro. This show has given me so much happiness. I just want to talk about things that I liked about this show and stuff like that because yeah. Well, I guess we'll talk about like the Straw Hats crew, right? I think Luffy overall is my favorite character. He's so funny and so silly and so weird, and I love weird characters. If you know me, I love the odd characters, and I love that Luffy is the main character of this one because I think it's a little different. But like Luffy is just like, I'm here for a good time and not a long time. He just makes me inspired a little bit because it's just like life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. And he does have a goal and he's very goal driven and stuff like that. But I feel like he's more like, I'll let the wind take me to whatever journey that leads me to my end goal, which is being the king of the pirates. And I think his power is so silly at the same time. Gum Gum Pistol! I think it's so funny because it reminds me of the girlie from Incredibles and like the elastic guy from DC movies and stuff like that. I think it's really funny. But yeah, I think Luffy for real will be my favorite character for a while, unless I end up simping for someone super hot, which leads us to Zoro. I like Zoro because he's super chill. I love his loyalty towards Luffy. Like you could see how they're just like, oh my god, Luffy, like get your shit together, man. We gotta fight Arlong. Why is your feet in the concrete? He doesn't give up. I really like his strength for that. I think it's also because of his goal to be the world's best like swordsman and stuff like that will help him like not want to give up. I loved his backstory, although Kuina, his girlie, she died falling down the stairs. I got to the part where they went to the island where Goldie Roger got executed, and then he met the girlie from the Marines and she looks exactly like Kuina. And then I'm kind of like, I know there's a lot of theories out there that is like, oh, is Kuina like also that girl? Like, did she fake her death? Because they're so similar, but also kind of different. Did she maybe hit her head and then run away and stuff like that? I'm just like, I really wonder. There's a part of me that's like, I hope so, because they're like falling down the stairs. I feel like that stuff wouldn't kill her. We also met Nami. I really loved Nami's backstory. I think in the beginning I was kind of like, who's this girl? Like, I don't really trust her too much. Although I know that like Nami is one of like the main Straw Hats. She stays in the crew for like good and stuff like that. At the time I was like, I wonder what made her change her mind to like fully trust the Straw Hats. Because before she was just like, I don't really want to be your navigator, blah, blah, blah. I'll come along. And then she stole the freaking ship when they were fighting at the restaurant. And I was like, bruh, are you kidding me? But then her backstory made me cry so freaking much, bro. It made me cry so much. It's coming down my face. Oh my god.
One of us. Are you okay?
Yes. Nami's backstory was so sad. So far, it was my favorite backstory, but it's also like really sad. I don't know. I don't love sad stories, but like this show is also very happy and I like it. But I think what broke my heart so much about Nami was, she sacrificed so much for her village, her little town, to save the people and everything. And then all the people were thankful for Nami, and like they all knew, and then they even were like, oh, we're gonna pretend we don't know because, we don't want you to feel like we're depending on you and stuff like that. It made me love Nami a lot because she was just very like selfless. I think it's funny because she is a thief and everything, which is, in a way you would think, oh, thieves are like very selfish. They don't think about the people that they're like stealing from and stuff like that. Deep down, when you really knew her story, like deep down, she's like the most selfless person. She sacrificed 8 years of her life. She drew maps and she stole and got hurt a lot just to buy back the village. All while Arlong's stupid ass fish looking swordfish stink was taking advantage of her the whole time. Like deep down I knew you shouldn't make deals with someone like that, even though they say, because it's just like, do you really think he's gonna pull through? But then again, it was like her only choice, and she was a child. So I feel like she was like, oh, there's nothing else I can do. So I think that was really sad. And Bellamere, man, best mom award, Bellamere. Next character I think we met was Usopp. I actually really liked the story. I think it was really cute. He would just tell these stories to his girly friend at the window and would tell her stories about his adventures. And I was thinking, even though they're not true stories, I think it doesn't really hurt if it makes her smile, if that makes sense. But I think it's really cool at the end of the day. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and make my own real adventures and stories that are real. Usopp overall, I just don't really like how he's cowardly. But I think every group kind of needs that dynamic. Not every group is the Avengers that will drop everything and will risk their lives for everything. I think it's pretty cool that there's like a different dynamic, but sometimes it just gets to me, you know what I mean? You're the sniper, get on here, you're a part of the team. What I think I'm most excited for is like to see his development throughout the show, to see how courageous he gets, because right now this man be running away. I think my least favorite thing is because of like his cowardliness, he sometimes is willing to throw everyone else under the bus just to save himself, which is kind of sad. Maybe in time he'll be more brave and not do that, but we'll see. Also, one more thing about Usopp that I just remembered. Usopp reminds me of Gon from Hunter x Hunter, because they both were left alone by their dad because their dads both went on a journey to realize their dream. It was really freaking sad. The other day, it was like a flashback about Usopp's dad. Usopp's dad was saying how he has a son and how he left him, and Usopp's dad's just like, you know, I left my son because there's something I loved more, being a pirate. And we're like, what the frick? I mean, I guess at least he was honest about it. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, I'll be back, he straight up was like, I'm not coming back. Bye. I think he's really similar to Gon's dad, because both like, I have a dream that I love more than you. The son, aka Gon, and freaking Usopp are both like, you know, my dad is so cool, I want to be just like him. And then that's their whole journey. Usopp being a pirate and Gon being a hunter. And then last but not least for right now is Sanji. Sanji, I actually really loved Sanji. He was like one of my favorite characters when he first like got through his arc, because I was like, oh my god, what a sweet boy. Like the pirate that was like super hungry and was in jail and stuff like that came to them and was like, I'm hungry, guys. And everyone's just like, we're not gonna feed you, you're weird and you smell weird. And Sanji was just like, you know what, no matter how smelly or weird you are, I'm gonna feed you because everyone deserves to eat. And I was like, oh my god, Sanji, you're so cute. That's so nice. So I was just like, Sanji. And I thought he was really cool, the way he like fought and everything with his legs. He's just like with his legs. But I think the only thing that went downhill for me is the fact that he's a womanizer. I think it's a funny like comedic trait to have. I think he's better than Moroku from Inuyasha, because Moroku bothers me more because this man like is trying to get with Sango, but then he flirts with everyone anyways, while Sanji, you know, he's not really committing to anyone. I kind of love that dynamic in a way, because he's just like, Nami, like everything for Nami, and Nami's just like, yeah, like he's like, Nami, I made you some food, and she's like, oh thanks, you know what I mean? Like she's not trying to fall for him, if that makes sense. She's more just like taking advantage of like him being a simp, which is like, she's not falling for Sanji, but she's just like, you know, I'll take it. I don't know, womanizers in just general, just like but with Sanji's character, I think it works. With Sanji's backstory, it was like really freaking sad when I was watching it, because Chef Pirate Boy sunk their ship and attacked them, but then saved Sanji and then was like, here's your small bag of food. This one is mine because I'm a big boy and I need to eat more food. And Sanji's just like, I hate you. Ran away. And then many days later, Sanji finishes his last piece of bread. He accidentally threw it into the water. But then he was like, I can't do this. I'm gonna die. So he's like, maybe I'm gonna steal from that old man. So then Sanji goes to the old man, and the old man just like sitting there with his big bag of food. And Sanji's just like creeping and then gonna steal it. But then he realizes that there was no food in the bag. It was all gold and jewels and money. And Sanji's just like, where's all the food? And then he realizes the old man gave Sanji all the food and didn't get any himself. And I think it was so sad because he was selfless in a way. And I think that little like thing that they went through together helped them realize something. I think the old man realized, you know, I could have all these riches and jewels, but without the things I need to live, like friends and water and food, these jewels doesn't mean anything. And I think that's what the old man learned. And then Sanji also learned about the importance of food and not to waste food. I think that was something that they learned, and I really like that message of the story. But yeah, overall, I freaking love the show. I love the whole team dynamic and everything. Like, I think I realized I really loved the crew so far when they were meeting Sanji. So Luffy became a cleaning boy, I think. And then he saw the crew, eating at the tables. And Luffy's just like, bro, why are you guys here? I want to eat. Yeah, this is the part that I freaking fell in love. Luffy picked his nose and then he put it into freaking Zoro's drink. And then Nami and Usopp started giggling on the side. And then Zoro was gonna drink the drink, but then he knew that Luffy put his booger into the water. And then he like made Luffy drink it. And they all started laughing really hard. But I think that was the moment that made me fall in love with the show. I think that was it. Where I'm at currently in One Piece, I just finished the East Blue and we are now entering the Grand Line. I think I'm like episode 61 or something. I literally just finished a filler arc that I watched for some reason. It was about a dragon. That's where I am right now. I don't know if I'll have future videos on One Piece, but I feel like if I ever do, after finishing the next arc, maybe I will. But that was my thoughts on the show. If anyone is thinking about watching One Piece, I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's too long, but like you don't have to finish in one sitting. You can watch little by little every day, and it's just a story that will like be there for a long time. I think that's what I like about it. It's like, I think at first it's starting One Piece is very like intimidating because you're just like so many episodes. But I think like in the long run, I feel like you'll just get more attached to the show because it's just something that is always gonna be there for a while. So it's like every time I eat One Piece, it's like that comfy show that will be there for me. You know what I mean? Who needs friends? You have One Piece. One Piece will always be there for you. But yeah, I highly recommend watching One Piece. I think that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have more of these little talking videos about anime in the future. Yeah. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys in the new year. Thanks for watching. Bye. Wow.